What's good, y'all? It's your girl Sydney Sizzle, Sid the Kid, and I am finally back at it again, as I always say, with another video. And y'all, it has been a very busy few months for me. I kind of lost my creativity, like I always tell you all, and the one thing that's really been keeping me on my toes in terms of like really making sure that I'm able to cultivate some type of, or at least have some type of creative outlet, is Sizzling at Night, which if you don't know, Sizzling at Night is a show that I put on every Sunday now instead of every Sunday and Wednesday. Every Sunday on Instagram Live, and essentially it's a platform for anyone with a business, anyone that has a brand, anyone that has any type of outlet where they're sharing their voice. It's basically a space for them to be raw, be authentic, and be able to inspire other people to follow their dreams, to start their business, to really pursue whatever endeavors they have for themselves. So I'm currently in season 2. You all can check it out, of course, as always, on my Instagram at Sizzle. And yeah, I'm pretty consistent with that. This YouTube stuff, like I said, I feel like I won't really I won't really thrive with YouTube until I start working full time, until I'm able to move out of my mom's house, until I'm able to just have my own space, because there's so much content that I want to produce, but I feel like right now I'm just pretty limited to that. But nonetheless, I'm gonna do what I can with what I have. So if that means I'm just doing reviews, if that's vlogging my experience at Wayne State, because I know a lot of you have asked me to show what being a grad student looks like, so I can always give those insights, and then also the background, I guess, or even more insights, or the juxtaposition between attending a PWI and attending a HBCU, from the undergrad experience to the graduate experience. And it's totally different, and obviously it looks different in general because we're in a pandemic and I'm not actually on campus, I'm not attending classes in person. But nonetheless, I am going to hold myself accountable starting this month in February. Honestly, I'm gonna try to post this video today. Like, I was in the shower and I was like, dang Sid, people have been asking you, what are you doing? People are like, why haven't you posted videos on YouTube? And yeah, I'm sorry, it's just, that's how my life is right now, and I hope that you all can just take me as I am. But nonetheless, I'm just going to give you all pretty much a life update and what I'll be working on for February. So let's get into it, as always, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so in terms of school, as you all know, I am a graduate student at Wayne State University. Technically, I'm a first year, but hopefully I'll be done in August, or I'll be done in November of this year. And I say that because 2 of the classes that I was supposed to be taking for my concentration, I'm not too sure if they'll be offered during the summer or if they'll only be offered during the fall. So once I'm able to figure that out, if I can get it moved up to the summer, then I'll be graduating spring or summer 2021, you feel me? I'll be Sydney Benson MBA. If not, then I will have to postpone it until the fall, like I said, and I'll be Sydney Benson MBA winter 2021. So either way, I'm getting my MBA this year, and that's just that on that. One thing about it that I'm like content with is the cost. So like I said, I am still a student athlete, I'm running track, and the school potentially might be able to pick up 6 credits. So 6 credits means about 2 classes, and that means I wouldn't be paying for that much. I might have to pay like a couple $100. But along with that, if I take the other 2 additional classes so that I can graduate, that's going to drive up the price, and I would be paying like $4,000, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad, and I'm not complaining. But like I said, I'm not full-time. I don't really have a salary. I work at a gym, so the income is pretty steady, but it's not necessarily enough to be able to pay for a whole tuition with what I have right now. Let's just say that. So in terms of track, I have been practicing with the team. I don't know what indoor season is going to look like because they just ran their first meet last weekend, and a lot of other schools like down south and even up here in the Midwest, they've been having meets as well, but it's pretty sporadic. So it really just depends on what the governor says and who's catching COVID, and just, it's been a very crazy time. We get tested every other day. It's very annoying, but I mean, we want to keep everybody safe. In general, like, practice for me has been going pretty well, and hopefully I'll be able to take you all with me this week so that you can see what practice looks like, so that you can see what my day looks like, because usually it's pretty hectic. Maybe I'll do that next week since most of my classes fully start. And like I said, for school, I'm taking 5 classes this semester, so it's pretty crazy. One of my classes started 2 weeks ago, and that was finance, and I love this class because it's only one chapter per week, and then every 3 chapters you have an exam. So my first exam is next week, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I did take finance back at Howard, so it's kind of like a refresher. And y'all, the power of this financial calculator, at first I was like, I don't know how the hell to use this thing, but now I feel very confident, and I don't know, it's like more so just read, take notes, and keep it pushing. That's one thing I will say. I found it to be helpful if I just read the chapter straight through, highlight it as I go, and then go back and write down the highlighted notes instead of trying to go back and forth. I would say taking the notes does, writing down the notes is going to take more time, but reading for me has become something that I can just knock out, and I'm going to get to that later on in the video. In terms of work, like I said, I've been working at P80. As you all know, that's the gym that I've been going to for like 4 years now, and I'm a trainer. Sizzle the trainer, you already know the vibes. And it's been a very rewarding experience because I am now able to coach and train some of the other athletes that were in my position. Even though I'm still new to it, I'm always learning from Huff, learning from Zoe, and just learning from the people around me. And it's been such a dynamic experience, even just from the client side, being able to cultivate new relationships, and it's very rewarding. So I love it. I love it to death. In terms of self-reflection, so let me go back. So that was pretty much my life update, my work, my school, my track, my little minuscule my minuscule life. My love life, it has been pretty lackluster, I guess. I don't even know. Maybe I'll do a video about what I've learned through dating, but so moving into self-reflection, I feel like 2021 or January 2021 was like the month of shedding your skin from 2020, and now February is like the month that we really start getting into the rhythm of 2021. So does that mean we're starting over? No, that's not what it means. But I think it's just a matter of like organizing yourself, planning how you want your year to look. In January, you were looking at the seeds that you wanted to grow. What were your goals? And now in February, it's time to start planting them in your pot. It's time to start making those moves. It's time to start being intentional. And I feel like I was always saying that last year, but it wasn't until the end of the year when I realized, like, Sid, you need to start moving with the intent of what do you want your life to look like by the time you're 25. You know, it's crazy that I'm already thinking about 25 and I just turned 22, but through COVID I learned that it was okay to be still. But as we're kind of coming out of the pandemic, as the vaccines are rolling out, it's time to be intentional, like I said, but moving with purpose. And so I will say I've been doing a lot of reading, and I'm very thankful for that, because now I feel like I can knock out 30 pages, 40 pages in one sitting. So some of the books that I've been reading, so the one book that I finally finished, and I was a little hesitant about this book at first, because I was like, what am I really gaining from reading this? But it's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I truly love this book. There's so many gems. One thing that made me feel so inspired while reading this book is just like your values. A lot of times we get so caught up in materialistic things. We want to chase money, we want to chase success, and there's nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to internalize your own goals, because once you achieve that success, you're always going to be hungry for so much more. And it's like you don't want to die chasing something, and once you get it, it's like if it fills you for 2 seconds, and then what? You're on to the next thing. So for me, I would say my value is just to be happy and to be content with where I'm at in my process, to always have gratitude for the people that come into my life, whether they're there to help me or whether they're trying to bring me down, because in those moments I have to understand that I can't take any of that personal, because everybody is going through their own season. Whether, you know, currently it is winter, but their seasons could look totally different. I was in a healing season, and now I'm in a growth season where I'm ready to flourish, where I'm ready to turn into a butterfly, where somebody else could be going through a season of turmoil. You know, they could have lost their job and now they're taking out their aggression on you. You never know what's really going on with other people. So this quote is from Mark Twain, and it says, "The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time." Whether that means y'all jumping out of a plane, whether that means taking the initial step to DM a crush, whether that means quitting your job so that you can go and start your own business. Do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, when you pass away, you can't take any of these things to the grave. So why not live? Live for yourself. Don't live for anybody else. And you know, this book just, let me see if there's something else that stood out. Another thing too, like in terms of motivation, and I need to hold myself accountable to this as well when I think about my own YouTube channel. The quote says, "You become your own source of inspiration. You can become your own source of motivation." Let me read that again. You become your own source of inspiration. You can become your own source of motivation. Don't look for other people to motivate you, because at the end of the day, people are fleeting. People, like I said, people are in their own season. Things happen to people all the time, but you can only control your behavior. You control your choices. And at the end of the day, there's so many options that are laid out in front of you, but you have to have good discernment in order to figure out, dang, does this feel right? Is my intuition telling me, okay, I need to step back from this? This is a red flag, y'all, red flag. It's time to move along. Or is my gut telling me, go for it? You have nothing to lose. And that's what's so special about this book. At first, I thought it was very cliche. I was like, I don't see the point. But once I got to the middle, I could not stop flipping my pages. The next one that I've been reading is called Deep Work: Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. And this one is just pretty much about staying focused. It's about eliminating distractions and staying on the grind, staying focused and staying committed to what you're called to do. I'm currently on page 72, and I don't know when I'm going to complete this book, but a lot of the books I've been reading are somewhat self-help, but more so self-reflection, and they provide me with like prompts per se to journal about. So I'm someone that loves to journal, like I told you all before. And in every moment when I feel overwhelmed, or I start thinking, or life just becomes too hectic, I will write. So regardless of if I'm reading a book, I'm talking to someone, I'm like, hold on, okay, how am I feeling in this very moment? Why do I feel like this? And what am I going to do to move out of that? Okay, the last book that I've been reading, and I've just been taking my time with this, like I just do chapter by chapter, honestly, and it's called Tuesdays with Maury. And essentially this book is about a professor who he's been teaching his whole life, and he had Parkinson's disease, or he had some type of disease that basically paralyzed his whole body, and at the end of his life he basically just couldn't speak anymore. And so Maury was the professor, and one of his students, I forgot his name, consistently came to visit him. And throughout the story they talk about just different life events, things that we need to learn from, our decisions, things that we value, and just living. Don't live for anybody else, like I've already said, and that's something that I'm taking into 2021. Do what makes you happy. Feel fulfilled with yourself. Don't look for fulfillment within other people, other places, other things. Understand what you value. Do you value yourself? Do you value your self-care? Do you value giving gratitude to others regardless of how they treat you? At the end of the day, I think I'm shedding this new layer of skin, or this old layer of skin, excuse me. I'm shedding this old layer of skin that was hurt, that didn't understand how to express herself, that didn't know how to love and be compassionate. And I'm finally starting to walk into the path, and honestly, y'all, you're gonna be like, oh, here she go. I'm walking into the path that God has laid out for me. You know, he says that you should not hold anger towards other people, that you should forgive them regardless of how they've treated you, because at the end of the day, if you can't forgive for yourself, then you're always just going to be mad and angry. And what's the fun in that? Who wants to be walking around hurt for the rest of their lives? Not me at all. So instead of looking within and constantly asking myself, why do I feel like this? Why? What's going on? I look to God and I say, God, allow me to let this anger go. Allow me to understand and to see that what so-and-so did to me has nothing to do with me, but it has to do with them in the season that they're in. I have no reason to take this personal, but I'm gonna just charge it to the game and keep it pushing. I just feel like this is the season to really get organized. This is the season to start planting those seeds, to decide, what do I want the rest of my year to look like? Whether that means setting goals for yourself and attacking them early and being intentional and deciding to align with those goals, or just taking it day by day, giving yourself grace. And I would love for you all to drop down I would love for you all to drop in the comments below what giving yourself grace looks like. For me, I would say giving myself grace looks like burning a candle. Can y'all see that? Giving myself grace looks like cooking myself a nice meal, buying a new wig, getting my lashes done, sitting in silence, listening to jazz music, taking a bath. I just took a bath yesterday and it felt amazing. Giving yourself grace can mean anything, but you should decide what that looks like. Don't let Instagram, don't let anyone else try to define who you are, where you're going, and what your purpose is. So with that being said, that is my life update. That is what I have going for, October. That's what I have going for February. I'm gonna try to be producing as much content as I possibly can, hopefully, fingers crossed, and get into my skin. I'll be we're still a work in process, y'all. I know y'all see it, but I've been using Skin RX or Urban RX, and I'll be dropping a review on that soon. Nonetheless, I'm gonna wrap this video up because I know y'all like, can you shut up? That is all for me, and I will see you all soon. Ciao.